Awesome, awesome. So we're about to kick this off. We are about to get started. Before we even get started, I want to make sure that you understand, the individual that I got hopping on the line is a dynamic individual. We are very blessed to have him take the time out of his day to be able to hop on this call. So just so you know who I'm going to have on the line, I put his Facebook page on there, and I put his Instagram page as well. This man is lit on a whole different level. Trust me, you want to follow this guy. This man is a man of his word. This guy right here is literally the definition of the product that we have in front of our hands. And so I just want to make sure that everybody understands that, you can go ahead and follow him first, just so you know who's going to be speaking. I remember meeting this individual. As soon as I met him, it was like I already knew he was on a complete different level. This man is competitive on a whole different scale when I tell you, right? So let me go ahead and get off the share right here as well. Give me 1 second right there. Bear with me, right? So as we're all on the call, I want to make sure that you guys tag, like, share, comment on the call. This will be recorded as well. I want you all to understand that too. Okay, and I have the blessing to be able to not only put this guy on the call, have a natural conversation with him, but when I tell you this guy is a dynamic individual, he's all the way in the West Coast, and this man is 32 years young, just so you know. He looks way younger than that. He's full of life. His enthusiasm is on a complete different level. You can tell as soon as he walks in a room or anytime he's around you, like he literally brings that energy, right? He's all the way from Riverside, California. This guy is an ex-pro baller. I don't even know why he should be an ex-pro baller, because this man can ball on a whole different level, right? He was balling overseas in Taiwan. This man is a man of faith. He's a coach. He plays basketball, like I said, but I'm pretty sure he plays almost every sport. We were out on a dream trip, and this guy is competitive. And no matter what it is, he's competitive, right? He's a mentor as well. He's big on family, and I'll tell you what, you could tell that he's big on family because he's always cheering on all his people, right? I could tell that anybody that's around him is family as well. And we even get the blessing to watch his brother play for the New Orleans Saints. I think that's pretty cool as well. So with that being said, right, I just want to make sure if you can hear me, brother. Can you hear me, Eric? And we got the man, the one, the only, the myth, Eric Williams in the building. What's up, brother? What's going on?
What's up, Joe? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm absolutely doing great, putting God in the center of everything that we're doing. I couldn't be more excited to have you on the call today. I mean, you're all the way in the West Coast, right? And you're killing the game right now, bro. Like I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what level we're in. It matters what you're doing at the moment. And through everything that's been going on, in 2020, I could always tell, you've always been a person that puts in work in everything that you do. But right now, you've just been killing the game, through this, through all the adversities that we've been going through in this new decade. You stepped in, and you've literally stepped up on a whole different scale, being an example. So I thank you for that, man. You're an inspiration to myself as well. So it doesn't matter what level we're in. It matters the work we're doing at the present time. So, like I said, putting God in the center of everything that we're doing. I'm going to kindly ask you, to kind of just let us know who you are, where you come from, a little bit about yourself, and, how you even got introduced, to World Ventures.
Right. Well, first and foremost, man, I appreciate you for having me on, man. The official family, I appreciate you guys for having me. You guys have an amazing leader in Joba. Like I said, we met last year in Cabo, man, and I knew right away when I met him that he was just going to be, he just had that other level leadership that people definitely want to follow, and just that energy that we took. It's the conversation that we got from one another. I can see you're family oriented too with your beautiful daughter, man. And I love seeing how you took care of her through that time, and see how you take care of her now, man. So that's just definitely an example that, that I want to follow and others want to follow as well. So I appreciate you, your leadership, and all that you do, man, for everybody. And so thank you for having me on. But just a little bit about myself. Like Joe said, I'm 32 years young. I live in Riverside, California. I saw this information about 7.5 years ago. At the time, I was in college. I went to school at Cal State Fullerton, so basketball was like a huge part of my background. I went to school for marketing, but I really went to school for basketball. That was my drive. That's what pushed me through, my younger years, and that's really what I was going to school for. So I saw this at my senior year of college, getting ready to go overseas and play professional basketball. And a really close friend of mine actually was trying to get me to come see this information for a while. And I was really kind of pushing him to the wayside because there was a company called MCA at the time. And they were posting a lot on Facebook, and they were just posting money. And people were just like flashing money on the internet. And I'm like, man, I'm just not about that. That's just not for me. I don't like when people flash money on the internet and like, oh, you can make 500. And nah, that wasn't for me. So that's what I thought that he was trying to show me. And he ended up was like, look, man, I'm not wasting your time. Just come sit down with me and check this thing out. So I go down and I sit down with him at a Starbucks, and he shows me the information. And right away, I'm blown away by the travel aspect. But I didn't understand the business side of it. I was like, look, man, if you show me how to do this, I'm down. It wasn't about the initial cost because we spend that on stupid stuff every single day, on shoes, on clothes, on girls we don't even talk to no more, like stuff that's not going to make us any money. So eventually, after asking questions, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get started. Got started right on the spot. I was like, so what do I do now? He's like, invite people to see the information. All you have to do is invite them to see the information, and I'll do the work. I was like, that's it. He was like, bring them to see the information and put them in front of me. So within my first week and a half, I got my first 4 sales, not knowing anything, just following the system, right? Excited about it, wanting to waive my fees. And that's something that got me to that portion. 7 years in, 18 countries visited, residual income earner now with the company and that's all through following the system. So just got excited about something that was worth getting excited for. And now we're moving.
Amazing. So, Eric, I wanted to ask you this because, right now we're living in a whole different state. It's like everything shifted this year 2020. And, as we're like in the state we're in now, it's a lot different than what it was last year or prior years, right? So what's your message to everyone who right now probably is, because everybody may feel a different way. Some people are down. Some people can be really excited. What is your message, of the day for people in the present time? How do you approach your days? And what is it that you can give us in the present time right now towards the future?
Right. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. When the pandemic first broke out, I really didn't know how to approach the business side of things. I knew travel wasn't something that people really wanted to hear about. But what I did is I just took some time to reevaluate things. And then I started to plug back into the system, right? Plug back into the trainings, plug back into what, the people were talking about, what our leaders were talking about. And that's a lot of times we can become disconnected by things that hit us, right? This was definitely a challenge that hit the company, and we were like, okay, what do we do now? But now we have to regroup. And so I found myself taking some time away and then regrouping. And then I came back, I was like, okay, we can still do this thing, right? After listening to the leadership. So what I did was I just, got myself together, and it was just all about plugging back into the system. And we just started plugging away. And what happened for me was I just little by little started plugging back into it, and then started sharing people the information and started pushing more of the business out, because we saw what happened to people losing their jobs, and then people were looking for something. Okay, so then I was like, okay, I'm not going to bombard them, but I'm going to say, hey, look, how are you doing right now, and what are you doing in your situation? And so I just simply started reaching out to people and talking to them, and I would approach them, and they would start telling me about their situation and what they're doing. Hey, are you working? Are you currently working? Most people weren't working anymore. So how are you building income from home? And so I would just start asking questions, forming people. And that's what Dave Ulloa talked about, forming people. So that's what I was doing. just started to talk to people. Wasn't necessarily approaching them about the business, but then if they said, hey, they're looking, then I started plugging them into the system. And that's what I would encourage people to start doing. Just stick with it, because right now people are looking. Over 50, 60 million people are unemployed right now, and they're looking for something. And so now is the time to actually act.
Nice. That's amazing. So, you know what? I know that I sent you a few things that we were going to talk about right now, but I really don't want to skip out on this because, I mean, you really use this product. And I think that the way that, we really got connected, you were like, were you that dude, screaming out loud like that, all that happy, blessed, amazing thing, And I was literally right above you in Cabo. Whenever we were in Cabo, we had an amazing place out there in Cabo. Like, it was beautiful. We were right in front of the beach. It was just amazing. So if you can share with us a little bit about how many dream trips you've took, the amazing places that you've gone to. I mean, I look at, when I go on your page, I'm not going to lie, it just makes me want to dream trip every day. When you were riding that horse full speed, I was like, yo, that was lit right there. You've been to some amazing places, so can you share with us, what our product is all about, and what's the difference? Because I think a lot of people don't even know the difference about when you're on a dream trip and when you're on a regular vacation.
Right. Well, to be honest, I didn't even really take my first dream trip until after my first year. So I kind of talk about that first. A lot of people who first get started feel like they need to take a dream trip before they actually build the business, and that's not necessarily true. I actually started building the business prior to me actually going on my very first dream trip, which was a $69 cruise to the Bahamas. So you don't have to be, you can be successful prior to actually going on a dream trip. So just want to hit on that. But the first thing that attracted me to the company was the product, and the money aspect was the icing on the cake. So I always knew that I wanted to travel. Basketball is my vehicle to travel the world. So I said, this was my basketball without basketball. So I was always going to use the product. And so I was like, look, people are not going to actually believe the product is real unless I use the product. So even when my business wasn't where I wanted it to be, I'm like, dude, I'm going to book a dream trip because this is why I joined anyway, right? And I just started inviting people to go on these trips. So the trips are amazing. I mean, I've been to, Greece. I've been to just recently Brazil, to Dubai, like some of the most amazing places that I never thought I would go to because of this company. And the company really lays out the red carpet for you. The service is dope. Them picking you up from the airport. When you bring new people who are just not even a part of the company and they see the way the company takes care of you, it really speaks volume about what we put first in our company. And that's definitely the care or the customer service that we have. So I would definitely, once this is all over, I want you guys, everybody, to be safe at this point right now. But once this is all over, man, definitely need to plug into our trips. How many dream trips have I been on? I don't know. I've been to all I've been pinpointing is the amount of countries that I've been to. So it's been about 18 countries. So the amount of dream trips, I'd probably say over 10. But I've been to quite a few places.
That's probably like one of the most amazing things to hear right now or listen to have a problem to not even remember how many dream trips you've literally been on. I mean, I think you were like in Dubai. I seen one of the trips you were in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
How was Dubai, bro? Because I mean, that's a place that I really want to go to. So as we're having this conversation right here, like, what was the best thing about Dubai? I mean, what you experienced out there?
Well, first and foremost, they picked us up in a stretch Benz. So I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Dubai is just, when they talk about one of the most, beautiful places in the world, that's definitely that. We stayed at the JW Marriott Marquis, or is it a Marquis? Yeah. And that's the tallest hotel in the world. I think we stayed there for $600 for a whole week. And we had the most beautiful view, right? And all of Dubai, it's a lot of land, it's a lot of dirt and water, but it's still as beautiful as it can be. As what we got included in that was absolutely amazing. They had the Desert Safari tour. They took us to the Burj Khalifa, which was, that's the tallest building in the world. everything that was included in that was just absolutely dope. The company took care of us hand and foot. Like once we got to the hotel, that hotel is amazing. Like the service is like unmatched. But Dubai is something that I would highly recommend. I got a lot of people that tell me, oh, you know, people in Dubai are funny acting. Nah, I love Dubai. And that's something I would highly recommend. That's probably top 3 places that I've been so far. But company really outdid themselves with that.
I mean, is it true when they say like it's like you can't even spit on the floor out there or what?
Hey, I wouldn't.
Yeah, because that's what I heard. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna ask Eric that question because I heard it was like that exclusive, right? So, as an entrepreneur, what would you tell other entrepreneurs around the world on how to continue fighting for their dreams? I mean, because there's a point. I mean, we all go through it, right? There's a point one day when you're just like, you get caught up into, you know, how right now we haven't had any sports, for example, right? And then the NBA is coming back, which is how you and I connected, right? So the NBA comes back, then all these games bombard us, and next you know we're chilling with our homies, right? And here we are watching games, and 2-3 days in a row, and we kind of get off, you know, what we were focused on doing, and we get a little bit distracted. Then next, you know, that turns from 2 days to like a month. So what do you recommend? You know, like how to keep fighting? You know, how to stay focused? You know, what is it that you do? You know, to keep that in line, because I know it's you know, it's challenging at times. So asking as a student, you know, on what you're doing right now, what is it that you do, and what can you recommend for other people?
Well, right now in this current situation, I kind of have a routine that I go through every single day. You know, I get myself up every single morning. I get out and I go work out. I'll come back, then I'll do some reading, right? So I'm trying to stay focused. I'll do some personal development. You know, when I'm in my workout, I have, you know, the audio playing. So every time I'm working out, I got something that's building my mind every single day. And that's key. What's going through your head. You got positive stuff, you got negative stuff. Is this stuff that's going to help you grow as a person or not, right? So that's the stuff that I have playing every single day during my workouts. Come home, read 10 pages, right? Personal development, right? Then after that, then I start making my calls. I start reaching out to people, right? So I try to get, just try to get a consistent flow every single day, because a lot of times people can find themselves in this position because we have so much time that we're not spending it, doing the right things. And so I feel like by having a routine, you can kind of get yourself going every single day. And, obviously there's going to be obstacles along the way. What I would tell people is just to continue to stay in the, to stay around the fire. We have presentations going on all throughout the day. If you don't have anything going on, jump on a presentation, right? Because there's presentations every hour on the hour. Jump on a presentation, because that'll get you right back where you need to be, right? Because we got a lot of great presenters going on. You're presenting like 9 o'clock at night over there. Just plug in. Just stay plugged into the system. That's the best thing I can tell people to do. Is just, and there's trainings going on every single week too. So stay plugged in. We're gonna fall off the horse, but then we got to jump back on it, right? You can always press the reset button. So all I can say is just continue to stay the course. We may get off on the wayside a little bit, but then we got to get back on. Stay plugged into the system.
Oh man, like you're on another level. Trust me, man. And I seen the way you be doing the push-ups. I went on your page and I was at home. I was like, you know what? I got to get on this Eric Williams plan, because this man is swole too, right? So I get out there and I'm like, let me see if I can hit this plan. And I'm over there like struggling. I'm like, okay, I get it now, right? This is a whole different level of being an animal.
Just like the business is consistency.
Right. And so I'm like, this guy's mentality right now is literally inspiring and something to connect with. Like you said, be around the fire. It doesn't matter, sometimes your ego, you get caught onto your ego. It doesn't matter what level you're in. I believe the newest, like right now, my man, congratulations, Eric Williams, because you hit director in the middle of this pandemic. I want to be around you. That's why I have you on this call, because whether you're IMD, WIMD, R&D, you want to be around the people who have the energy right now. Definitely that's what you bring, You have plenty of people ranking up. I see you injecting everyone, and that's what leaders do, right? So I'm curious about what type of books you're reading, what has helped you take the necessary steps to take action and be successful. So I'm pretty sure it has to do with the books that you're reading. So if you could just kind of give us give us a secret, give us a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes, because sometimes people don't understand that the books that you're reading are important as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real secret. I mean, we've heard it all throughout our World Ventures, career. What you put in your head is key, right? And what you listen to is key. And who you listen to is key. Who you follow is key. The Slight Edge has been great for me. It talks about compounding, your efforts, right? And that's something that I feel like if you haven't read a book yet, that's the first book that I would highly recommend you reading. Because your efforts every single day, those small little steps that you take every single day, you may not see it in the beginning, right? And that's what kind of helped. That's what kind of helped with my director push, right? I'll actually share how that happened. I actually shared this information with a lady about a year ago, right? And this is why continue to dig and continue to spread the seeds is very important, and never burn bridges. It's very important. So I'm just digging. I'm digging, showing the deal. Last year I showed a girl. She was like, nope, not for me. I was like, cool. Kept digging. Beginning of the pandemic hits. That same young lady hits me up. She goes, my situation changed. I need to look at that one more time. I said, boom, okay. Put her on the information, signed her up that night. It all started that night. That push started that night. So when they talk about the new lifeblood, that's what it was. So when she got in, I said, okay. I was like, look, we're not going to play with this thing. I told her right away. I said, we're not going to play with this thing. And she was hungry. I said, this is what we're going to do. I took her through like a 30-minute training that night. It was late at night. Signed her up, put her in the system, went through a training. The next morning, we got to work. Within these last few months, from that individual, and you've seen her name, Kiki Lee, that's popped up so many times. She's hit senior rep in her first 30 days because she did exactly what the system said. All I said was, put them on the information and get them on the line with me. All I told her is, you're Kobe, I'm Shaq. You throw the lob, I'm a dunker. And she just followed the system, and her family has followed the system. And we just, every time we put them in the system, we train them up, and then we create their list, and then we start getting them to show people. So we just kept getting them, just signing them up, putting them through. I think we put over 60 people in the last 30, 40 days, just because we've been on it every single day. Now, I don't even have to get on the line with her because she wants it so bad, and she's listening to guys like you. She's on the trainings every single weekend, and the team has just pulled together, and that energy is just infectious. So we've just been staying on it consistently. We've been cheering each other on, and people love that type of energy. And so that's what we've kind of been doing, just staying close to each other, just working with the system, 2 ways, 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, webinars. We've just been doing it just like that every single day, and just constantly training our people, creating lists, and then getting them back out there. Because the way I think about it is, your person's going to quit within their first 48 hours. So our goal is to help them to get their first one in their first 48 hours. Because a lot of people are thinking, I don't know if I can do this, right? That's just naturally what people think. I don't know if I can do this. And so within these last 45 days, it's been on. And it's just every single day.
Wow. You know what? And I love that, because when you have momentum like that, it's a rush. It's like a crazy rush. It's like when, you're on a streak and you're playing on a team and everything's just clicking, and you go on that run, and like those teams, even the underdogs that come off the wild card and then they end up winning the whole thing. And that literally, when you're speaking that way, I related with the things that we love. So, man, big shout out to you, Eric. Like I'm so excited for you about what's about to really happen. The ranks you're about to hit, like director's just only a stepping stone on what you're really gonna do with this. And as we close out this call, if you could give us a final message, because we got boot camp coming up, and I can't even stress the fact on how big training is. And so as we finalize this call, I want you to give a message to everyone on how training is like the biggest thing with this entire concept and how that domino affects to other people. So
I was just listening to marketing director Tori Smith today, and he came out. He was like, "Look, you know, if you're on this call right now and you're not registered for training, you shouldn't even be on this call, right? That's how serious training is. Like, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not registered for the next training. If you're not registered for boot camp, then why are you even building the business? Just be a member if you're not registered for boot camp at this point, right? Because that is the key to getting to the next level. To be honest, when I first started, I was very stubborn and I did not want to go to training, right? But there was a person who actually poked me, and she was a residual income earner, and I'm a red. And she was like, how you doing with your business? I'm like, it's going okay. Oh, have you ranked up yet? I'm like, no. Have you been going to training? Nope. Get your butt to training, right? So she poked the bear. And after that, I didn't miss any trainings because I knew that she was always going to have that, oh, I'm a residual income earner. Where are you at, right? So that type of stuff pushes me. Like you said, I'm super competitive. So training is very important. If you want to get to that next step, it's not only are you going to build the belief in yourself, you're going to build the belief in the company, and then you're going to also build that belief in the industry. If you don't have belief in yourself, the industry, or the company, it's really not going to work for you. So that's when you build your belief level at these trainings. You get to be around those people who are doing it big. If you're not around people who have what you want, you're never going to get it. If you're constantly listening to those people who don't have what you want, you're gonna have what they got, right? So it's always very important that you surround yourself around those people who are doing it big time. Like Jova's big time right now. Those are the type of people who we want to be around. The Byron Trogs, like rub shoulders. That's the type of energy and the type of people we get to be around, at these trainings. So they're very important. I 100%. If this is something you really want to do, training is not an option. You got to get to training, and that's what I preach to my team. If you really want to do this business at a high level, it's non-negotiable.
Wow. You literally dropped bars today, Eric. Wow. I got goosebumps on me right now. I promise you this. Man. So I really, really want to thank you for, jumping on the call. I thank God first and foremost for, allowing us to meet. I thank WB for giving us a platform, just to be able to have something that, we can have a common vision on how we've met on a dream trip through an amazing product, and just to be able to connect with you, brother. Like, I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate everything that you're doing right now. I appreciate you taking the time on this Sunday evening. You're 2 hours behind from us, but I thank you so much for taking the time, to hop on the call and to be able to feed everyone and just drop like pure bars and with straight passion. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing for not only us, but the entire company in the world, man. Like, you're killing the game out there, and I can't wait to see you cross that stage, brother. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Hey, no problem, man. We appreciate you guys, official family. Much love from Team Excellence over here. You guys keep doing your thing, man. If anybody ever wants to reach out, I'm here for you guys. So
you heard it from the man, the one and only, all the way in Riverside, California. Holla at your boy out there. And I put his social media platform on the beginning of this call. Make sure to follow him. Make sure to reach out to him. Do not hesitate. And Eric, already I can, give back, pay back the favor. But we will have this on record. We will have this recorded, and we'll make sure to drop it, to everyone. So with that being said, congratulations on hitting director. But for somebody like you, that's like a little stepping stone. That's like a little tiny bit about, on what you're really going to do with this. So, brother, thank you so much. God bless you. God bless everyone out there in the West Coast. And let's have a blessed, amazing night, and let's go out there and kill the game. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Thank you, brother. Have a great night.
Yep. You too.